Welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Good to see you. Good to be seen. Anyway, glad you're here today to join us for another episode of Nick and Knarf, the fabulous show from the Mecca of music, Tucson, Arizona. And today we have a real treat, probably a band we should have gotten to long ago. But they deserve all the attention in the world. They were one of the great acts for, 40 years. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I first heard Tom Petty with the great album, Damn the Torpedoes. I'm going to play a song from that because it's one of my favorite albums and just great songs. Tom Petty, 40 years of outstanding music, hit after hit after hit. Unfortunately, dying in 2017, right after they completed their 40th anniversary tour and a couple of weeks before his 67th birthday.
And I'm pretty sure he lived in the Laurel Canyon area.
Oh, he lived in Malibu. I believe he lived in Malibu.
Well, real close. So, real close. You could take Laurel Canyon all the way down to the ocean and then hang a right and you're at Malibu. But the point is, and
I saw Tom Petty too on the Damn the Torpedoes tour at UC Santa Barbara in 1978. It was awesome. I drove all the way from Thousand Oaks to Santa Barbara, which is about an hour and a quarter drive. Yeah, it was a great show. Great show.
Yeah, they formed in '78 in Gainesville, Florida, which is kind of weird. 76,
78 is when Damn the Torpedoes came out.
Is that right?
Yeah.
In 76, yeah. Original members were Tom Petty, of course, Mike Campbell, lead guitarist, Benmont Tench. I like that name.
Nice name.
Tench.
Yeah, really nice.
Stan Lynch and bassist Ron Blair, and then Blair eventually left because he got tired of touring. But 13 albums over a course of probably the next 30 years. We don't know how many albums they sold.
3 solo albums, too. He did 3 solo albums.
I was not a big follower of Tom Petty. That doesn't mean I didn't think they were great. I love his songs. They're always different. That's what I like about him. His style is so different than most people.
This is volume 1 of greatest hits, all right? Listen to this catalog of hits. American Girl, Breakdown, Listen to Her Heart, I Need to Know, Refugee, Don't Do Me Like That, Even the Losers, the one we're going to do now, Here Comes My Girl, The Waiting, You Got Lucky, Don't Come Around Here No More, I Won't Back Down, Running Down a Dream, Free Fallin', Learning to Fly, Into the Great Wide Open, Mary Jane's Last Dance, Something in the Air, Feel a Whole Lot Better, Night Watchman, A Woman. I mean, this is just volume 1. Just hit after hit after hit.
He toured with Dylan and Harrison and all those.
Well, he was in the Traveling Wilburys, too. That's right. He was in the Traveling Wilburys and made 2 albums with the Traveling Wilburys on top of his 3 solo albums and the 13 Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers albums. Just a real icon of rock and a tragic loss at the age of 66.
2002. Where's Jethro Tull?
That's right. We keep saying that.
Anyway, 2002 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, deservedly so. This guy is made.
He's a giant of rock and roll.
10 great albums, I would say. So
just awesome. But anyway, before we start, we'd like to invite you, as always, to please subscribe, like, and share if you haven't. And if you have, thanks so much for all of your support. Leave us a comment anytime. Let us know about your Tom Petty favorite songs, albums, concert experiences, whatever. And we're going to get into our first selection from the Greatest Hits album, but actually originally from the Damn the Torpedoes album, which I first heard in 1977 back in Iowa City in graduate school. Just blew my mind when I heard it. Here we go. It's Here Comes My Girl, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Sometimes I don't know why, but this old town just seems so hopeless.
John Mellencamp.
I ain't really sure, but it seems I remember the good times with just a little bit more in focus. But when she puts her arms around me, I can somehow rise above it. Yeah, man, when I got that little girl standing right by my side, you know, I can tell the whole wide world that shout it, hey, here comes my girl. Here comes my girl. stop, ask myself why I've done it.
He really likes to change his voice. His
It just
delivery.
seems so useless to have to work so hard and nothing ever really seemed to come from it. And then she looks me in the eye and says we gon' last forever, man. You know I can't begin to die, honey. No, it just feels so good, so free, so right. I know we ain't never gonna change our minds about it. Hey, here comes my girl.
The Birds right here. Plays that Rickenbacker, that's right.
Yeah, she looks so right. She's all I need tonight. Watch your wall. Every time it seems like ain't nothing left no more, I find myself having to reach out and grab hold of something. Yeah, I just catch myself wondering, waiting, worrying about some silly little things don't add up to nothing. And then she looks me in the eye, says we gon' last forever, man. You know I can't begin to doubt it. Oh, 'cause it just feels so good, so free, so right. I know we ain't never gonna change our minds about it. Hey, here comes my girl. Here comes my girl.
So good.
Yeah, she looks so right. She's all I need tonight. That's right.
One note on that organ. That's it. He's a master composer. I mean, this guy just knows how to build songs. Sounded a lot like the Byrds, sounded a lot like Dylan, sounded like John Mellencamp, sounded like the English Invasion. A lot of different influences.
This album, Damn the Torpedoes, that first album that I heard, really just, I mean, song to song, just so exquisite. Refugee and so many great songs on
And you
that
guys,
album.
I was talking about the way that he likes to change his voice. I mean, who else does that? We've talked about that. Billy Joel, a master at different type of vocals. This guy, you don't think he's a great vocalist, but then he hits some pretty interesting. He uses different parts of his throat really well.
And that's a different kind of a song for him because he speaks in his normal speech in the song through the majority of it and then breaks into the chorus with the Here Comes My Girl where he gets into a singing voice. So it's a real different kind of a tune. But you're right. He had a Rickenbacker. He played a Rickenbacker guitar in those early years, especially during this album. And that's why you get that bird sound, that real sharp sounding. And he plays it on a number of other albums. Like when you hear him do the Byrds version of I'll Feel a Whole Lot Better, he plays it too, and it has that great resonance and richness. But he's right, song after song, gets a great sense of melody. He knows how to put a hook into a song and really make it memorable.
Admittedly, I didn't follow him that much in the late 70s and 80s. I liked him, but I just didn't really appreciate him for what he is. He is an icon.
So many great songs. I'm going to pause the CD because I'm going to change it to the second volume of the greatest hits to play this other selection, which is pretty well known, but isn't played much anymore. And I really like this song. It's so catchy and a straight rock, and it's got some really sarcastic, snarky lyrics. It's called Jammin Me, and I'm going to get it on just a second, so we'll be right back.
We've changed snarky to narfy.
Narfiness. It's got
lyrics.
narfiness.
And narfy.
Anyway, we'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. We're ready to do our second selection on our tribute to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It's a great, great song. One of the later ones off of the second disc of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' greatest hits. It's called Jammin Me. And I heard this the first time. I hadn't really been familiar with the song. And there was a radio station in town that was just forming. And they played this one night. They were playing like album rock, song after song after song. They were just getting off the ground. And man, I heard this song and I said, man, I didn't recognize this one before, but it's such a terrific song. Anyway, without further ado, this is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with the great rocker, Jammin'.
Simple, but so good. Reminds me of something the Stones would do.
Yes, it does sound like the Stones, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the thing about Tom Petty. He finds these little hooks, these simple tunes, 3, 4, 5 chord songs, finds a hook. They're foundational basic rock progressions, and he just drives them home with layer of guitar work, organ work, and other stuff. And then his voice adds the rawness, the kind of edginess to it.
And I'm telling you, if you heard 10 of his songs for the very first time, you'd swear this is not the same guy that sings other songs. You wouldn't say this is not Tom Petty. It does not sound like he does on 6 or 7 of his other songs. That's what blows me away about this guy.
He can morph his voice slightly, but it's just, he's got that distinctive style, and it's just, you could sit there and say, well, they're simple songs. Yeah, they are, but they have the drive and the power, and the key is the layering to it. And he hammers that hook home. I mean, he just plays it, and it drives, and it gets you, and you're caught up in it with just that little departure in the lead in the middle on this song.
Look, he puts one note in there with the piano, beep, 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 and it fills. It's just
a blues progression. It's E, and then it's A, and then it's E and B, and then they just do a little variation from there, and then they do that little middle change and gets back to the same, but you don't recognize it because it's buried with this driving rock rhythm.
And that's just great rock and roll.
That little hook, that ding, 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 that thing really adds a lot. Layered on top of your basic foundational rhythm and blues progression. It's just amazing how he can get that kind of power out of a simple song like that. But what did you guys think of Jammin'? And how about Here Comes My Girl? Hope you enjoyed them both. 2 different ranges of the Tom Petty experience, but all great. He's a true icon. He's missed. Rest in peace, Tom. And thank you for 40 and plus years of great stuff.
There are certain people that doesn't matter what they're playing, it sounds good. He's one of those guys.
He's one of the greats, and we miss him, and we hope you enjoyed our show today. And if you did, please, if you haven't, subscribe, like, and share. Hit that like icon. Let people know you like what we're doing. And if you haven't, if you have, we love you, and we appreciate you.
Till next time, guys.
We'll see you next time on Nick and Knarf.
Ciao.
Peace out.